And now we get into the main podcast where I have to briefly mention this show's newer sponsors, which I'm very proud to announce. We have fucking sponsors now. Don't mind my bowl of turkey ground meat hamburger helper macaroni bullshit. So there was a company I was investing into for a long time called GamerSupps. They provided, I think, a more sustainable, more healthy energy drink solution to Monster, to Red Bull, Rockstar, all of these new ones coming out. Even Ghost, right? Sure, they have zero sugar substitutes, but the substitutes to make it zero sugar can contribute to memory loss. So I found a company called GamerSupps. I was with them for a long time, but they got way too big. Now, this is not to say I compromised. I just found an opportunity, and they were looking for creators. This is another company by the name of WGG. So there's W, there's the cup I got, vanilla as hell, just to stay basic until I'm like, hey, we should make a cup for me or something later on in time. So they got a really, really good cup, really good shaker cup. They worked with a company called Sports Shaker for the lid. It works really well. The mixing lid works really well. And I got this lovely, just very soft, white grape and honeydew flavor, themed off of Freerun, which is one of my current favorite shows. The only thing I'm not into so far, and this is just me being phantom transparent as I always am, I didn't know it had taurine in it, dude. And taurine is one of the things that I think companies like this should be avoiding if they don't want their customers complaining about shitting their brains out shortly after drinking it, because taurine is the bull bile that we were all hearing about very early on. Taurine, and the reason they invented energy drinks in the first place was to eat a massive meal, drink the drink, and then with the taurine in there, it helps you melt everything that you've consumed down. And, well, that kind of contributes to you possibly having bathroom issues later on. So I think that's the only thing I noticed only after having acquired the product and investing is the taurine. But if they remove that, the rest of it's fine. I don't have any sugar crashes at work when I drink this. I just need to go to the bathroom a little bit more than I would want to, and that can just improve over time. So if you're looking to get energized with that, the code will be CROSS, CROSS. Our secondary sponsor would be a Spanish-based vinyl pressing manufacturer. Now, keep in mind, for U.S. local bands, and because of the tariffs, which I just regard as a restraining order to all the countries that ripped off our economy for plenty of generations now, it's just a restraining order. Like, once the tariff percentages and the taxes and all this that it takes to import product internationally lower and balance out a little bit more, I'm pretty sure the tariffs won't exist, but that's just me. So Pathologically Explicit Recordings also proudly sponsors this Crosscast and all Crosscast ahead of time. This is a company, again, that does vinyl pressing for basically any country outside of the U.S. So if you happen to be a band who's starting up, get fucking wired with WGG. Be better, because it's always a win. It's always a dub with W. And then with that energy, with that motivation, with that lack of fatigue or absence thereof, go ahead and crank an EP or album. Get in touch with Pathologically Explicit Recordings. Bands like Acranius, Marion Topsy, and plenty of others in the heavier music world work with them. If you use the same code, CROSS, CROSS, you will get 15% off of your bulk order of vinyl pressings, which that would save you a lot of money potentially, depending on how many variants of vinyl for an album or EP you want to do. So, get wired with W, like I said, get motivated, get an EP or album written up, and then, go to Pathologically Explicit Recordings to get that bulk order, and let me know. Maybe even send me something, and I'll pay the necessary fees to get it into the U.S. Who knows? But that will be the sponsors. We just did a lovely behind-the-scenes segment with all of the boys in Louisiana, blackened deathcore band From Misery to Malice. We have a returning guest, that being Mr. John Marshall. And then we have Matt, we have Citizen, Hayden, and Dylan. It is honestly a pleasure to finally get this Crosscast recorded. Now, you guys aren't asking me the questions anymore. Now I'm asking you the questions. But we want to get a little bit more personal, right? We want to get a little bit more individual. So, My goal next is to get into the people segment. This is a questionnaire composed, improved, reincarnated, hashed, gashed, gutted, torn, dismembered, everything. That way it could be a little bit more concise and easier to think about as far as the answers to these questions. But we start out a little bit more casually, and the same order that we did during the BTS segment with Matt, Citizen, Marshall, Hayden, and Dylan. And what I want you all to do is go ahead and take about 10 to 20 minutes. Take us from the beginning of you getting into music and get us all the way up until the point of you joining From Misery to Malice. Take it away, gentlemen.
First, huh?
We're taking it.
So my experience, I find it pretty easy to summarize because of just being like, my first guitar I bought with bowling alley tickets. And it was a piece of shit, like mini acoustic.
That's a lot of bowling alley tickets.
But like, I just wanted to physically play something. I guess that's all it really was. I was into rap music and shit like that back then. It's not like I was drawn music-wise, but it's more so I want to do something with my hands. Like something's flowing in me that, needs to get out there.
Maybe perhaps something more platonic as opposed to romantic without a partner. You know what I mean?
I love music and shit, but I ain't never played it. I never had the opportunity to be handed, hey, if you want to play music, do it on this. I've touched a few kid toys and whatnot, but no Jeffries. But since then, I was more of like, oh, I should probably buy something that's real or get my hands on something real one day. And I ended up pressuring my parents to just, hey, buy me a guitar. So I started on guitar. I had a brother that he bought a pair of drums, and I jumped on there, and I naturally played it better than him, and he never let me back on.
He's like, fuck this guy. Go get your own.
12, 15, 14 on drums doing that. But, that was more of like, oh, I'm playing guitar. I just learned I could just jump on drums and actually play it, I guess I enjoy this. And this is more of like where the rock side of enjoying music came from. It's not like I was playing rap music on guitar,
You could, but,
You could. Definitely could. But at the time, I had things that pretty much heard on the radio, Bullet for My Valentine was probably one of the things that I was like, I could sound like that if I just physically did it. So I kind of like those kind of bands with Bullet for My Valentine. I wouldn't know any other band, really.
Not for a long time, at least. You were like, Bullet for My Valentine, Bullet for My Valentine. I am standing this band.
Drop a C, dude.
Kind of old magazine.
But I think that was more so I was 14, 15, and then when you get to high school, that's kind of when things change for you. But I'll say the number one thing that kind of clicked in my brain that I needed to just evolve, instead of just, I play music for fun. I watched the Periphery Icarus Lives music video, and I saw they had 7 strings, and I was just like, oh, well, no shit, that's exactly what I need, because I heard what was being played, the generic kind of style, and I was like, well, that's what I played naturally. I just didn't know how to do it, and, the guitar that I have is not equipped for that. So, as soon as I got a 7-string, it was just up from there. I learned how to record music. I could make a song in 4 hours, and ever since then I've stuck to 7-string guitars. I listen to deathcore, things like that, and I pretty much write music every day, every other day. Just
hell yeah.
Cycling through songs for the last 10 years probably of just recording to myself, liking my 7-string instrument, and just being as brutal as I can, really.
Well, let me ask you then, Matt, were there any other side projects you were in before you joined From Misery to Malice?
Oh. So,
He's like 15 other side projects.
No. So for the most part, it's like I just make all the music myself, and then I had an opportunity when I was about 20 to kind of get into a band with my friends. We're called Deaf Tune, and we managed to make an EP, and we managed to make the music video that we were all proud of, and live experience for about 2 years, not touring, but just getting out there.
Yeah.
Like slightly out the state, slightly around the state. And that band fell through. And I was like, well, just back to, what I know, just make my music to myself. And Mr. Citizen right here, he happened to come to our first show, which was my first show, but I was on stage, and he was at the first show for like our show, like in the audience.
I was just supporting.
Yeah. And he came up to us and he's like, man, if y'all ever want a guitar player, like let us know. Yeah, you did.
I mean,
At some point he did, and we were like, we don't need another guitar player. And like a month later, we needed a guitar player.
He says, "Fuck off, citizen. We don't need another chugger."
Oh my God. He did something and playing something else.
So he ended up getting in there too, and I'm sure he'd rather talk, about his side when it's his turn.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
But basically, that band fell through, and he gave me the opportunity because he was in this band From Misery To Malice a while. So it's almost like he gave me the favor to be like, hey, you can join this band like when you want. And when he first asked me, I wasn't ready. But months later, I was like, hey, if that offer still stands, I'm in.
I love that you tucked your hair behind your ear too. You're just like, yeah, I can join the band if you want. I really hope that's exactly how it looked too.
He does that a lot. Like, this side.
Well, as soon basically, he gave me the opportunity. I came in, and I've just been helping them push where they were at. Like we made an EP. It was mainly theirs, like their idea and whatnot. But I came in and I helped them achieve it, and it's just been going up ever since then.
Fuck yeah. No, that's awesome. Now, would you say that when it comes to because you're the lead guitarist guy, would you say that your solo work because I haven't listened to From Misery to Malice, so I wouldn't be able, pardon me, fucking Rick moments again. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint just yet through solo work, but would you say that any of your solo work started from some of your first inspirations, that being the work of Periphery and Bullet for My Valentine, when it comes to solos?
To solos, so like I wasn't one to really learn songs. It was more so of like a reference to almost a connection of trust, being like, hey, I'm playing this, but like I'm not thinking about what I'm playing. So when I hear a song or something, it's almost like they're telling me, hey, you're kind of playing like us. And it would make sense to me. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I'm playing deathcore because I probably heard a song or two. But from Bullet for My Valentine, it was like, oh, it's easy to play, chords, or you drop two in your guitar. You're kind of just 3, 2, 1 in certain spots. So I didn't learn too much soloing techniques. It was more of like, hey, like I want to, play a solo or something. And maybe a friend or two would already have knowledge of that. So I would basically learn from friends pieces of like how to do soloing.
And that is Matt's way of saying, hey, dumbass, there's no fucking solos in From Misery to Malice.
Actually, there's like two.
There's two? Okay. Well, in that case, I'm not as wrong as I could be, or as oblivious as I could be. So maybe in not reference to the two solos that you've written, but any lead guitar work, if not inspired by, not even like actually learning the song, just like, whoa, it would be cool if I can sound more instead of like, would you say that your lead guitar work has transpired or inadvertently, subconsciously been derived from any particular bands in the scene that you've listened to?
I'll say this though. So it's almost like a time skip for me, like my knowledge, because as like a kid, I liked classic rock, but I thought that shit was boring.
Hey.
Hey, so like I had LimeWire, and I found out that people were playing like instrumental guitars like Rusty Cooley and even Yangui Malmsteen. It's like, oh, for some reason like the quality sounds like classic rock, but they're completely shredded. So it's almost like knowing what sweeps are and like knowing like, oh, once I'm on a guitar and it makes sense, it's like that's almost like where I go back to, where like those old '90s kind of style shredders that are going. Because when I heard it in deathcore and whatnot, I wasn't too like surprised. I guess because my surprise was when I found those '90s guys. So yeah, pretty much like the chance to have the knowledge, like I definitely kind of influenced where I went after that classic rock era.
Okay, sick. Now, let's go ahead then and, for now, put a pin in that. Put a pin in that chunk of lore for From Misery to Malice. And let's jump to Citizen, okay? You seem to be eager to fulfill commentary, clapping his hands together.
Yeah. What do you mean I seem eager?
I don't even know what the question is anymore.
Okay, so basically the first question in the people segment.
Okay. How do we get, okay.
Yeah.
So,
musical background, all that other shit.
Playing anything really until I turned about 20. I was like in my early 20s, and I was going through a real weird space and time in my life, and I don't know. I hadn't even really started listening to like Metallica. Like I was really like into like rap and just mainstream music. I did have like I had a brother who kind of exposed me to like some rock and some alternative, and I grew up with, like MTV and VH1 and shit like that. So I listened to that kind of stuff, but I didn't like really latch on to it as much as I did until I got older. But whenever it did click, I just like my mom had you brought up Rocksmith earlier. She had a Rocksmith guitar because she was trying to learn guitar, and I moved out of the house after I got back home from the army and shit, and I took that guitar with me, and like I just started learning stuff on it. Like I don't know, it was weird. It's like I had a weird drive and motivation to learn, how to play, just the music that I liked. It wasn't really to be more creative. It was just to just challenge myself and see if I could do some of the stuff that I hear that these guys are doing. And
What did you like at that time, John?
What's up?
What were the bands you liked that you would play on guitar?
I mean, it was like Metallica. It started off very basic, Metallica, and then from there, I don't know why I went from like Metallica to Death Clock, and then Megadeth, and it was just a very weird, no rhyme or reason to what I was trying to play. It was just like, ooh, I like that. I'm gonna try it, and I would challenge myself. And first time picking up a guitar, like people aren't trying to play Metallica, they're playing like Judas Priest or Smoke on the Water or whatever. And like I just jumped completely over that. But anyway, yeah, I mean that's how I got into it. And then I started getting like, you progressively get heavier and heavier. You start craving like a more, I guess, edgy, a more edgy type sound and just different, not something that a lot of people are listening to. And how heavy can I go? Like at one point, like Slipknot was like the heaviest band that I was listening to, and I was like 20, 22 years old. Which I mean, they're heavy, but like anyway.
I think they're one of the honestly, when I think of Slipknot these days, after all the years and all the albums I've listened to by them, they are the most marketable and heaviest band that you can that is marketable.
It's like that sweet spot. It's the sweet spot. But yeah, so like I pretty much locked myself in my room and I was just playing guitar over the course of a few years, and really got into the local music scene over here. And I linked up with one of our old drummers, Mr. Bennett Ferris, and he was in a band called Devoured by Plagues. And I'm just a very social person, so like after their set one night, I was like, yo, like you guys fucking killed it. I gave them this kudos or whatever. And like we just kind of became friends, and I didn't know how to write anything at that point. I was just still, playing other people's music and trying to get my own chops up. And one day he was like, "Hey man, you want to come jam?" And like we jammed. I really wouldn't call it a jam. Like we just kind of bullshitted, and it was fun. And I kind of brought up the idea like, "Hey, what would be the chance that you'd be interested in like starting a little project?" And he was cool with it. And we found a couple other guys. We formed a little, I think it was a 4-piece. We didn't have a vocalist, so we were just kind of jamming around and stuff, making, some okay riffs here and there. And at some point, like we just kind of cycled through, a bunch of people, a bunch of lineup changes. Some people, they hang around or they get bored, or I don't know, they have kids or whatever, and they got to go handle life, which is cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, at some point, like I got hooked up with old Matt and Nice over here. They had Deftune going on, and I didn't ask to be in Deftune, by the way. No, I mean they asked me. So I went to one of the local shows, like just to support, because fucking their vocalist Chris was just hounding everybody on Facebook to come to the show.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Shout out to Chris Souffle. But yeah, so yeah, never mind. I get into that.
Anyway,
He's an okay guy.
he's
He's not affiliated
I
with
was gonna say he's a deathcore
He's not.
vocalist.
He's not from. He's not affiliated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we love him.
didn't know expression.
All right, I'm gonna shut up about Chris. So yeah, so I went to one of their shows and they did good. They did, I mean, it was a show. It was awesome, and I mean that was kind of it. Like I congratulated Matt on his first show, and I mean the other bands went on, and that was it. And actually, I went to their jam spot because I wanted to buy a shirt. They didn't have the shirts at their show. So I went there to buy a shirt. I drove all the way to fucking New Iberia, which is like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I went and bought a shirt
Other side.
because I'm just a good dude like that. And they were practicing, and like one of their guitarists, he had it set up, and they kind of put me on the spot. They were like, "Hey, like, what can you do with this?" And he handed me his guitar, and I played some
Didn't
shit.
impress him at all.
No, well, I impressed him enough. But I played, what I nervously could on the spot, and apparently it impressed him enough. And I bought my shirt. I smoked a cigarette with him. I had a beer with him, and I left. And then it was maybe like 3 or 4 hours later, their vocalist Chris, he messaged me. He was like, "Hey, like how would you feel about playing guitar in Deftune?" And I was like, "Me?" I was honored. I was like, "Dude, that's awesome." And just to disclose, like I really wasn't even into deathcore at that point. Like I was mainly into death metal, and that kind of stuff. But deathcore was very, very new to me. But I did accept the offer, and we played shows for a couple years, and it was fun. And, it was a great time, and the band could have went a lot further, but certain things happened, and I think everything happens for a reason. But either way,
Indeed.
besides, so we did that, and then in between being in Deftune and all that, like we were still doing From Misery To Malice. We were trying to get a set list put together that we can start playing live, and things kind of really took off once, and I hate to say it, but Deftune died overnight. It died overnight, and so that allowed me to focus 100% on the band that I don't want to say I started, but I helped start.
You've been there for
and then at some point, I mean, I knew old Matty Daddy wasn't doing anything, so I was like, "Hey man, like if you're not got a whole lot going on, I mean, we could use a guitarist." We had another guitarist, and he was a good dude. He just things weren't meshing that well, so we decided to part ways, and that opened the spot for Matt, and he was the first guy that popped in my mind. So yeah, I mean, we offered him the spot, and he took it, and really since he's joined, we've been taking off. But yeah, that's kind of how I started, and then
how we're here.
All the extra shit, and then where we're at right now. So
Oh yeah. Cool.
Not your average, start playing whenever you're 12, and then you become an amazing musician and you get in a great band. But it's kind of an unorthodox way to get started. But I mean, I wouldn't change it.
Oh yeah.
And I learned a lot from these guys. We all learn from each other. We have a very good relationship, professional relationship, and it's
friendship.
Yeah, and we're homies.
And friendship. I love it.
Yes.
So two things I wanted to chime in there. For one, you tried to skim past this. I see you. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your service.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes, second thing I wanted to add in, and this was a question. This is not on the questionnaire. I think it's just more personal to you. Compared to the beginning when you were just learning music, learning to play music, whatever rhythms or chugs were necessary, just to challenge yourself, and comparing that to now, would you say that it is still a challenge, or has your contributions for the band, From Misery to Malice, become equally as challenging as entertaining in your experience?
Oh wow, that's a whenever you say entertaining, like entertaining.
Because at the beginning you were just looking to do a challenge, you were looking to give yourself a challenge, and it wasn't exactly like fun to do. Yes. That's how you worded it.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. It wasn't fun, but yes, no, it was mainly a challenge standpoint. But yeah, no, I mean, over time, I mean, everything got easier, and I mean, it's all in the reps, as you know. But yeah, at one point, it did get very entertaining, and I started having a lot of fun with it. It was mainly whenever I joined Deftune, and like I started performing live, and I mean, at first it's very nerve-wracking. You've always been in an intimate space with like your homies, like a close. You're playing your material. You're not playing in front of 50 or 60 people, and so it really put the pressure on. But oddly enough, like I like the pressure. Like I like kind of being a little scared. And then once I really played my first show and kind of started getting that confidence and just feeling more free, like the more entertaining part came out, and I started having a lot more fun with it. And I mean, starting a band, especially if you're not already experienced, it's not the funnest. I mean, it's fun, but it is a little stressful. You have goals where you want to be that you set in your own mind, and then like if you get to it, cool. If not, you kind of beat yourself up about it. But
I know I do with my own project. Like only one song, I'm like, God damn it! I have 10 albums worth of lyrics ready to go, just no producer. It sucks.
Right. But I mean, after time, man, and like playing a bunch of shows and just again getting the reps underneath your belt, like it's fun all the time now.
Good.
Like, practice is fun. We bullshit. We pick at each other. Shows are fun. Like there's no more of that nervousness. I mean, you get like a tiny bit. You're a little, it's like just that tiny shred of like
shit to worry about now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Y'all got shit to worry about.
Fuck y'all. At some point it became very, and I mean, I love it. I have fun. It's it's putting your music out into the world, watching people react to it, and it's a very
rewarding.
It's a unique feeling that 1% of the world is not going to ever experience, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
That is indeed a beautiful thing. Once you find the right people, once you find that Goldilocks cast and crew for something that you want to create more regularly, everything changes, I'm sure. And dude, I cannot wait for the day that I'm able to finally take my band more seriously, and also get to the point where perhaps I'm saying, hey, can't really do the Anatomy Crosscast for a little bit because we're busy cooking up an EP or album in the studio, possibly over in LA with the boys in Shrine. Because I'm like, well, if I have the opportunity of getting one of the DNA bands or for fans of artists involved in the ghostwriting creative process of getting my band started, I'm gonna fucking take that opportunity by the goat. Okay. Like that's just how it works for me. So I'm glad, obviously all 5 of you, right? All 5 of you are in this space. You're in the session with me. I was surprised that we got more than 2 just because of how busy people can be, but I appreciate it. So thank you, Citizen, for taking your time so far and chunking out your lore as a musician. Also, formerly being a serviceman, even if you're too modest to give yourself credit for it. Coming back and then devoting full time for From Misery to Malice. It's awesome. Mr. Marshall, it is now your time to close the gap between... it is. Between that of the Spire of Lazarus session and your full-time transition to From Misery to Malice. Take it away, sir.
I really want a cigarette too. Yeah.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to open the door a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
So...
Oh, it's dark outside. It's dark, yeah.
Hello again, you handsome man, by the way.
I appreciate it. I've been working on my... I ain't been working on shit. I look worse now.
No, you don't. Shut up. You look handsome.
No.
You look handsome.
A handsome young man.
A handsome young man.
So let's see. That's the wrong part. Left cheek, left cheek.
Left cheek, left cheek. That's a good reference. I like you guys more already.
Oh yeah. So basically the transition from the last Spire of Lazarus podcast to now.
Yes.
All right. So since then, done. Shit. I've moved like 3 times.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, but I was still in this band. Actually, one of the pictures that used to be our cover photo, I guess, was taken around the time that we did the podcast with Spire of Lazarus. Just to kind of give a context.
Yeah.
Or timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I mean, pretty much just been doing this, and not long after we released Spire of Lazarus released Omen. That's when me and Julius kind of talked about it. It's just like, hey, look, I'm all the way over here. Y'all are way over there. Y'all are getting opportunities to play like these big festivals with all these big names and everything. So, yeah, I'm just gonna focus on this. And it's also nothing against anyone's writing styles or anything like that, or themes or concepts. But I guess you could say, theme of the band kind of fit what I was wanting to write lyrically better. Like the theme of this band.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's like, get it right, homeboy. But yeah, no, so they got their new vocalist. Dude's amazing, by the way. He's a really nice guy. I talked to him a while back. And yeah. So like, I guess how I joined y'all? How did that happen?
So, and I hate to steal the spotlight, but Bennett Ferris, who's a drummer that I started out with, him and John knew each other because they jammed.
It was like the first. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The first ever band. The first ever band that I was in was.
He's gone.
Yeah, the piss.
He hit the door.
We're in a. I don't know if you can tell. We're in a storage unit. Right?
Yes, I can tell. It's actually really sick.
So we had.
You're good.
Power blasting right now.
You're good. You're good.
We got a fire hydrant kind of busted out there right now.
It's a damn shame I can't fucking hear that. Just shh.
Oh my god. I kind of don't want to hear it. He's crying.
He's like, I've been holding it for so long, and finally I get to
Okay, so
Swap is
right. Tag me in, bro. Okay, cigarette. Oh man,
What a little orange.
I'm feeling a little orange.
All right, so where was? Oh yeah, first actual band I ever joined. It was called like Proboscis. That's what the name of it was. I didn't name it that, but they were like, yeah, it's the snout of a mosquito. So let's name our band that. And I said, okay, But that's how I met Bennett Ferris. Then.
Can I add that if you Google proboscis, it looks like like the monkey with the dong nose, it looks like
Yeah, it looks like he got a big old chud on his face.
So it wasn't
A big old chud. I haven't heard the word chud used in reference to certain appendages yet. That's kind of fucking funny.
Schnoz.
Schnoz.
But basically, and then went through a bunch of member changes, all this other stuff, and then they started Devoured by Plagues. And I guess technically I was in Devoured by Plagues for like a week or two. But that's when I got the call that I got a job in North Dakota. So I moved from Louisiana to North Dakota, stayed out there for a few years, came back, tried a bunch of other projects. One was even a metalcore project that didn't, I don't know. It just didn't fizzle out. They wanted to practice once every 2 months.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they wanted our debut song to be a cover of a cover.
No.
That's no, that's so stupid.
No, and they're cool people, but that idea,
The creative approach, the plan, the roadmap was not. It was like a fucking. It wasn't even a full paved roadmap, let alone a road. It was like fucking the roads you get in the deep south, or even out here in Coolidge, where I can't even fucking skateboard on them safely without hitting a plot hole, let alone a pothole. Like, goddamn, dude. Anyways.
Nowadays in Louisiana, if you don't swerve, you're drunk.
Yeah.
If you're driving, you're drunk. But no, so then what was I doing? I don't even know what I was.
What were you doing?
Oh,
working.
yeah, I was working. I had a ridiculous job where I was working like 7/16s. Was in this one band that would practice once a month or maybe twice a month. Then these guys, they asked me to, come hang out, come hear our shit for a little bit. And I said, all right, cool. I went to 2 practices, I think.
Yeah.
And then Bennett asked me, he's like, so what you think about like hopping on like full time with us and everything? I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. They had a lot of material written already.
Wasn't good.
I mean, it was.
Hey, it's the homework, man. Sometimes the homework is ugly compared to the final exam. I sound like a fucking corporate educational shill. What the hell was that? Sometimes the test looks better than the homework. It's like, who the fuck are you, a librarian? Anyways.
But so
You
then,
have to check homework.
shut up, David.
Yeah.
Plenty of laughs during this crosscast. I love it.
So then I joined them. They had a better schedule with practices. They had a better practice spot and everything. It was more the direction I wanted to go in. That pretty much, just been with y'all ever since.
We love you.
Aww.
Dude, we were so stoked to have this dude. I mean, because we already, we were somewhat familiar with Spire. I wasn't really, completely acclimated to what Spire was, and I heard them, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, you got this guy? Like, how? How did this happen?"
You said
And,
why?
so once we got him, we were like, "Look, this is like, it's like you're not going anywhere,
They meet me and they're like, ew. That's what it is.
So this is the spy boy. Send him back with the receipt.
Oh, yeah. Take it back. Customer service. But yeah, pretty much we've just been grinding it out ever since.
consistent.
But yeah, we actually been very consistent. I think it was the longest we went without a practice was like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Hayden, we both had babies. Not with each other, but, we had both kids. We both became parents. Not
Hey,
even a month.
Yeah.
These
Not even a
days,
month apart.
anything is possible according to the cult.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like the longest break we took. Be parents.
That was funny. But yeah, no, I mean, ever since then, now it's just keep grinding it out, climb the ladder. I'll do that. And yeah, just keep doing what we're doing. And I mean, we've got, it's going to sound so cliche, we've got big things coming soon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, but the thing is, people from an outsider perspective are like, yeah, you got big things coming, so do fucking 50 other bands. It's like, you don't understand. Like, these people don't understand. Even I don't understand. And I've done, like, as of this one, 125 of these conversations, okay? Like, people really don't understand until they actually absorb or attempt to absorb with majority of the populace a TikTok attention span of 30 to 45 seconds with the, we gotta get the highlight clips in there. That way it's easier for my fucking smooth brain to understand. It's like, no. Like, there's money invested into it. There's blood, sweat, and tears, and that's if everyone gets along. Then there could be drama if some people hate each other. I would know because of Invirulent and its fucking camp split up. Like, dude, there's a lot that goes into this. So, like, people, do not underestimate the process of being in a band. Unless you plan on being a whack-ass one-man solo project, which, yeah, sure, there are plenty of good ones out there. But the thing is, when you finally have to perform live, unless you have the skill to do so, it's hard. It's difficult. It's not flaccid. It's fucking rock stiff. It's difficult, man. So, John,
Man, you bring that up,
Machon.
there has to be, like, a certain chemistry between everybody.
Yes.
It's crazy. Like, we don't argue. Like, we're all very much on the same page, and I think that's very unique and special. Not to sound sappy or anything, but, like, even in previous lineups we had, like, there was always some kind of headbutting or a friction or a certain tension. And, like, I mean, we just don't have that, Like, we all communicate very well. We don't argue. We joke around. We're homeboys.
Good shit.
And then on stage, like, you can see that, like, that chemistry. Like, if there's guys that play music together and they're not cool, like, you can feel that shit. You can see it on stage. You can see it in their body language. And with us, like, there's just none of that. Like, we all love each other. Like, we just play and we just do what's natural. And it's, it ain't no shit you're going to see everywhere.
Right,
Well, no,
right.
and also, I mean, all of us are grown men. If anyone has a problem with anybody, hey, here's what you did to piss me off. All right, I'll do that. And I mean,
Right, right.
There's no middle school drama. There's no
Grudges.
There's no. I mean, this isn't fucking Degrassi. I mean,
Why Degrassi?
I don't know. That's the most dramatic school thing I can think of. But like, no, I mean, all of us have responsibilities outside of this band. I mean, most of us are fathers, and it's the last thing you want to do is when it comes to your hobby, which is your outlet, and it fucks you up even more.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where it's a task, it's
Yeah.
a chore, instead of something to relieve pressure or anything. I guess I gotta go to the bathroom. I don't know. They did earlier, so it's like, yeah.
Well, Marshall, one thing I wanted to continue upon was actually a conversation we had the other day. And this was like while I was huffy and puffy walking my way home from work after a longer day, where we were talking about like what we think to possibly be false chemistry in the music industry when it comes to certain tours being announced and shit. So like, obviously without spreading or kickstarting too much controversy, just giving our opinions on this shit. And all the other guys can chime in on this as well. Like, am I the only one who feels that every now and then a collection of bands announces a tour, and it's like you can kind of feel from a surface perspective, not knowing these people at all, for them, like just feeling that they don't actually know each other that well to call themselves homies. Like, am I the only one that gets that feeling every now and then when a new tour is announced?
at all.
Definitely
Not at all.
not.
It's usually, I mean, obviously when they're starting tours, they want to put, a bunch of good bands, a bunch of good, hard hitting, well known bands together. But that doesn't mean that these guys actually know each other or that they're relatable on a personal level.
That's just
Right.
like a weird marketing tactic.
Yeah, which I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their main goal is to draw a crowd and make money. And if you get a bunch of well-known bands on that, people are going to show up, and then that's what they want. They want to have good content and good attendance and good what's that word? Exposure. But I mean, that's cool and all. But some of these guys, and like you said, I mean, you can kind of tell there's not that very well chemistry. I mean, they can be civil and get along and maybe bro around a little bit, but as far as like being super tight knit, stuff like that. But I mean,
Well, I mean, there's bands that, for example, all of us are friends with, and they're not like in the same genre.
yeah,
Like we would potentially probably never play a show with these people, but I mean, they're cool people.
yeah. So
What?
Hopefully, no. Just choosing bad words out here.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't have these.
Them.
Oh,
Well, continuing upon that, then, Mr. Marshall, what I wanted to go ahead and do to close that gap of time, I know that there are new things that you've learned, new approaches to certain processes in your music life as well as your personal life. So I don't know, and I don't remember if I ended up asking this last time, but this is one of the questionnaire bulletins for people, right? And it quotes as follows. Specifically for this one, since the Spire of Lazarus session, what lessons have you learned as a person or musician, and how do those lessons drive you, or how could they apply to others trying to accomplish what you have so far?
Patience. I mean, basically, yeah, it's a big one. What else is it? Because I don't know, patience definitely, because sometimes you try to push too hard for certain things and it ends up falling apart. The other life lessons.
Patience also comes with acceptance.
Yeah,
It takes a lot of time to accept what patience is trying to show you.
exactly. Yeah.
God damn.
Because it's like there's times where it's like, no, we're ready for this, and it's like I gotta sit back and be like, no, we're not. Like everybody, hold on.
It's not rushing.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's not rush certain things.
Heard that, Dylan?
Yeah. But yeah, and then I guess personal life would just be like, what's it? I guess just trust.
Yeah.
Trust, endurance, not to basically put all your cards in, or put all your ducks in one row.
What? You mean all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah, all your eggs in one basket.
It works the same. I understand what he was trying to say.
All your ducks in it. Some of your
Exactly.
ducks in it.
Yeah, put some of your ducks over there, others over here.
At one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't put. Dude's got the best Cajun accent. Man, don't put all your fingers in at one time, though.
I love it. Okay. Well, I think, Mr. Marshall, being that we have fulfilled your lore from the last session, for the most part, I guess the last question I would want to ask you for the people segment would be if your rotation of music has changed at all, and do you think it has adjusted since your first top 5 albums, artists, genres in the last like what has it been, 4 years now or some shit? Like god damn, dude.
It's been a while. Like I thought about that the other day. I was like, holy shit, like we've been, all of us kind of been in a band for like 5 years together.
Don't feel like it.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having so much fun.
Right.
All the fun in the world.
I I mean, I'd have to say, as far as like albums and artists go, relatively stayed the same.
One groundbreaker in that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to think if there's. I mean, I've been venturing out to a bunch of different types of like, it's like folk music.
Okay. Dude, folk music is fun.
Yeah, it's really like I listen to it while I'm at work because sometimes my coworkers will piss me off really bad.
You're like, I need some of that.
Yeah, like a lot of the throat singing and shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, and a lot of the heavy drums and violins.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's
good. Pretty good.
I'm planning, dude. That's I think going to be one really really fun thing about my own band Blind is that we're gonna have like a bunch of these old era Make Them Suffer metalcore, deathcore albums. We'll have beatdown albums. We'll have King 810 inspired new metal albums. But the thing is, we're gonna flip those on their head later in time and turn them into dark folk Southern Gothic albums. And most likely through that, I'll be able to do throat singing at some point. And I'm so fucking excited. First step though is actually getting the main versions of those albums made. But just wanted to throw that in there.
All in good time.
All in good time, my friend. All in good time, my friend.
All in good time.
All in good time. All in good time, come in and turmeric. Thank you very much. Come again.
That was nice though, guys.
That is the end of the Crosscast, I'm afraid. Sorry, friend. Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah. Marshall's segment has basically ended because basically my albums have stayed the same.
I see. You haven't changed a bit. I'm kidding. I love you, dude. Now it's time for the Hayden part of the People podcast for the Anatomy Crosscast, my friend, with From Misery To Malice.
Dude, you got the coolest intro, bro.
We got shit like, so what's up?
It's like
My name is Hayden. I play bass for From Misery To Malice, my friend. I play my guitar every day, motherfucker. Don't you forget it. This will be a really fun one, I'm sure. Hayden, my friend, it is your turn. Speak for yourself, my friend. Please and thank you.
He's so nervous right now.
Be not afraid.
No.
Be not afraid, Baba. You're on the
Alright,
Anatomy Crosscast.
Started playing bass when I was 7.
Damn.
Damn.
So my uncle and my mom, my uncle on my dad's side and my dad, they all played music when I was real little. So my dad played bass, so I started picking up on it, jamming, learning as much as I could. Me and Dylan are cousins, so we were playing since we were little together.
Fucking
And,
lore.
that was the
Let's
only
go.
band that I was in. Yeah, so me and him wrote music together since we were kids, teenagers, early adulthood and stuff. We never took it seriously though. And then, so oddly enough, and you're not gonna believe this, Ben
Probably not.
yeah, and was like, "Hey, you want to join a band?" So Ben had pretty much
Ben is a great
He
dude.
put his
man.
mind
He's a
together.
pretty.
He put out a lot of
But-
stuff in motion.
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, dude.
Not gonna lie.
Bennett's also my cousin. So
What?
he hit me up and asked me to try out for bass, whatever. Team play. I said, "Fuck it, I've never been in a band before, so started jamming with him. We started. After he got John in, we started trying to advance our writing, and Bennett's an older guy, and he kind of realized he couldn't handle what we were going into. So,
Oh.
is that not the truth?
I mean, yeah, but can I start by saying that he was way more qualified to play in our band? Like, we were playing some very super basic, beginner type stuff. not beginner, but beginner for the sound that we were going for.
But so I mean, also to add on to Hayden's utility belt here, he doesn't just play bass either. It's just in this band he plays bass.
Yeah,
but like
he plays guitar, he plays
one
drums.
of those jacks of all trades that can do damn near everything.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The only thing you don't play is the kazoo.
I mean,
You can't play the kazoo. That's just blowing into something.
Yeah, you made this sound bad.
Yeah, I was like, this guy sucks. He can't even play a kazoo.
Continue, sir.
So yeah, it was just that's that's where we were as far, like I said, he was pushing us, and we would kind of hit that roadblock of like how to advance, what route we were trying to take. We were changing. I mean, we almost completely went from one writing style to another, and it was a hard transition as far as for like you said earlier, getting everybody on board on the same page. There was, I wouldn't say a bad falling out, but it was just kind of like creative differences. A lot of bands will members will leave and stuff over that. And, that kind of I'll alley-oop it over to that's whenever we hit Dylan up and asked him to join.
Oh, Dylan, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, me and you are essentially bassists. I'm not nearly as seasoned or practiced because I don't fucking practice because I don't have a bass as you are. But a lot of people underestimate the capabilities of a bassist, let alone someone who is, I don't know, Mr. Modest Man, Mr. Shy Man, a multi-fucking instrumentalist, okay?
Yeah.
What would you say is really important to you that compelled you to prioritize bass From Misery to Malice?
To kind of to break that, to like you said earlier with like Korn and stuff, where you can, like, bass is more of an important aspect. So the whole reason I really wanted to get good at bass is because of when my favorite band is Rush.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So Geddy Lee being like he didn't just play bass. I mean he was it was like they were almost doing their own thing on stage and right when they wrote music in it. I kind of wanted to bring that more. They got a lot of amazing deathcore bass players that are, really pushing the limits and really doing a lot more. And I just wanted to bring that over and like maybe, continue to push the bass from being that background thing into being like, part of the front, like
very
everybody
well
else.
noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The melody at times almost.
Yeah. Instead of just holding down, because a bass player has an important, holding down the low end is, important, but like trying to be more versatile as a bass player.
Yeah. No, and I really do appreciate and admire our shared approach to bass guitar playing. Like, like I said, the moment I heard that you realize bass guitar is more of a background instrument for deathcore and metal, I'm like, fuck you. Like, I will get as groovy as I want and find the bands who are already doing it in bits and pieces that are testing the waters, pushing the envelope, and then once I am musically inclined and skilled enough to do it, hopefully at that point people will be like, yeah, this dude's white, yeah, he has dreads, he wears a overall with a bunch of like band logos on it, but he's got tattoos, he's built like Tamlin Beasis without the fucking domestic assault shit. Like, this dude is like the fucking Jonathan Davis and Fieldy of Korn smashed into one man. That's pretty cool. And like, that's kind of my approach. So in that case, being that we have that shared approach, what is your what do you envision and want to manifest in outside perspective people, listeners, audience, right? Your listeners, your followers. What type of quotes would you want to manifest in them that help you distinguish yourself, not just as a bassist, but a multi-instrumentalist for a blackened deathcore band like From Misery to Malice, straight out of the fucking swamps, dog? What quotes do you want to manifest in your future audience when they mention you and you alone, Hayden, of From Misery to Malice?
That I'm doing some cool shit.
It's fun to do bad. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, just kind of like.
Dude, people that say that, bass is just, kind of in the background, they've never seen this dude play.
No, like live, he'll jump off the stage into the crowd.
And
I've seen him do this. Yeah.
Yeah, like just
do some
And
nutty
dude,
shit.
and people love it. They fucking love it because usually the bassist is off to the back. Just
they're
doing
hanging out in the
whatever.
shadows. But this
Hayden
dude's
is
like,
like, get the fuck out of my way.
dude's got his dick swinging the whole
I
time.
probably saw him when he accidentally hit me with his guitar. With his bass. He hit me with his. Dude, y'all hit me a lot.
Hey, that causes for the grit that makes you guys such close friends. You gotta smack each other in the hippocampus with the axe every now and then, okay? Oh,
Dude,
Yeah.
Hayden even has like a bass solo, basically.
yeah.
In Terraform.
He
Yeah.
has like 2 bass solos.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah, they allow me to play some bass solos, so that's pretty.
ooh!
Oh, wow.
I need to listen to this shit then. I feel really bad, but I do it for like clickbait YouTube bullshit. Just like I didn't listen to the EP until I interviewed the band. Like no, I just need to listen to the fucking music. It's just like I've been busy.
I'm not
But
gonna tell
it'll
you
be
what
so much
songs you have to listen to.
Ah,
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, find it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, in that case, similarly to how I asked Mr. Marshall, what would you say is in your rotation right now? Only 5 placements are allowed. So this could be artists, this could be genres to generalize it even more, or specific albums.
Man, I'm right now. I'm kind of stuck on that new Netherwalker album.
Oh, I haven't listened to that shit yet. I need to.
Oh,
It's
dude,
good.
you're
It's
doing
really
yourself a disservice.
I know, I'm perpetually disservicing myself.
It's beautiful.
That is like number 1 right now for sure.
Okay.
I'm real heavy on Disembodied Tyrant.
Fuck yeah. Buddies of ours, people have been on the show before.
Dude, like they kind of opened up a whole nother like those 2 specifically. I'm like kind of
Yeah.
You want to push my writing as far as technicality and brutalness, like just all of it, all of it. But I mean, besides that, like I said, I'm constantly listening to Rush.
Oh yeah.
Glorilla is my number 1 favorite artist.
So
No,
this
for
has
real
to
though,
be
for real
mentioned.
though.
Yes.
I love that.
But like we hear this shit all the time.
Well, I mean, even live.
We have a Glorilla song that we play.
I'll send you the video of it. It's,
Okay.
And the crowd loves it too.
The video's
Okay.
not good.
Oh, yeah, but, we have a Glorilla Deathcore like 1-minute jam we throw on stage.
A remix almost.
Yeah, like a remix.
Slam dunk.
Sick.
We're gonna send it.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least you don't sue us.
But yeah, it's like I say right now, it's mainly those 3. I listen to a lot. Like you ever heard the artist Bill Murray? The dude I love his music. I try not to stay just on deathcore. I do branch out.
Yeah, you kind of have to, right? Like, if you really want to not invoke creative pollution, as Chris Paz of Shrine of Malice quoted to me years ago. I'm like, creative pollution, what's that? And it's like, well, if you're in a deathcore band and you're listening to deathcore all the time, inevitably, if you are a seasoned musician and you're just getting lost in the sauce, you'll eventually copy one of Thy Art Is Murder's riffs. I'm like, oh shit, huh? And like, it wasn't really a familiar concept to me because, like, both whether it was the context of me not having successfully written any songs yet in the deathcore genre or wanting to be a music journalist, I'm like, there's no way creative pollution can exist if you are truly individual. But then the issue was, and it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, the way that I write music without instruments right now is I will model and tailor the song structure of every song I write. And I'll be like, okay, so for example, the next one, just to give a little hint to everyone, it is a combination of Xenobiotics' The Wretched Strive, Ingested's From Hollow Words, featuring the dude from Aborted, and then Ginger's Perennial. Now, how those all mix together, people have to wait and see. But low-key, the song will be about calling out Anthony Fauci for the scamdemic, because I predicted that it was a scam and it was a fraud and it was just like a means of corralling everybody back in fucking 2020 when it first started. And it turned out that I was right. So it's like, not only was I hesitant about releasing that song until the pandemic concluded and we learned a little bit more, but like the fact that my instincts proved me to be correct years ahead of us confirming that, you know, that there was this and this going on, and that celebrities were getting money for berating and bullying people into getting vaccine shots and shit. Like, it all ended up being true. So I think that'll make the song even more fun and powerful. But it will definitely be a more death metal catered song, and I can't wait to get it out to everyone. So you know, when it comes to keeping a variety in there, I mean, to be honest, I was meaning to answer this question from the BTS segment, but I do believe Citizen asked me, like, what are my prolific genres of music? And, you know, just briefly, when it isn't Ignite the Church, which is my umbrella term for black and deathcore, death metal, black metal, downtune, which is not an original term to me. That's actually coined from Derek Connolly of Nithful and Catcher in the Rye. When it's not Ignite the Church or Thal or this new era of almost Blade Runner, cyberpunk, electronically infused metalcore, it is lo-fi hip-hop, and it is also southern gothic, dark folk. And then when it isn't any of that, it's J-pop. I have a very, very profound fascination in the way that the Japanese entertainment industry works. So, like, I love indulging in bands like Pale Dusk, Crystal Lake, Ado, Lisa, Aina of the End. Like, all of these artists I'm becoming more and more familiar with over time, and rightfully so. Like, basically, if we had a similar approach here in the United States, people could create just the right song, the Goldilocks song, for a new season of Avatar if the opportunity was open, and their popularity would skyrocket because of a cartoon. That's how it works over in Japan, and that's just truly fascinating to me that their Lady Gagas could potentially arise from a chunk, mind you, like half of a chunk of a song, cutting it in half for the opening for Demon Slayer. And that's how Lisa returned to popularity, or how she kickstarted by writing Crossing Field. So I have a whole playlist on it. There will be a workout routine YouTube channel as well. But yeah, it's important to keep variety. You can't just be listening to deathcore all the time, because it will become stale, or you'll be just blatantly copying all the artists that you want to tailor your demographic in the for fans of category too. Like, you just don't want to be listening to deathcore all the time, and if you do, you're low-key obsessed, and you might as well have a shrine of your favorite band somewhere in your room with a whack-ass photo of the band lineup, and you're just like, this is for Shadow of Intent, and like, we're not really doing that anymore. We never really were, and that's just some whack-ass occultic activity. So cool. I'll definitely keep in mind that one of your DNA bands is Rush. That's badass. I don't really hear that so often, and I need to listen to them more, because they were such a fun band back in the day. And I would prefer them over Metallica, AC/DC, Kiss, like any of them, any day of the week. I love Rush.
Yeah, that's it. No, they're top of the line for sure.
Hell, top of the line there, bud. Love it. Alrighty, so we're going to put a pin in your lore only for now, Mr. Hayden. And concluding, we return to the fiery head of Mr. Dylan over here, who looks salty as shit. He's like, I fucking hate being last, dog, but it's what it is. Let's go ahead and learn about your background, my friend.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. You like to talk about.
He's a man of few words.
I started playing drums at 4. For Christmas, my dad bought my first kit, and I wouldn't say I was really big on music. I just like to play drums because both sides of my family, they're musicians. So
okay,
I play music, you know. I forgot what age it was. The first band or the first music I really liked to listen to was Rush. My dad had a CD that he'd play in his truck all the time when we'd go take rides, and that was the only type of music I'd be like, hey, Dad, put this CD in, you know, like, I want to hear this song again. So that right there was one of the first bands that really got me into wanting to play. And I just played. And when I had my son in 2018, I just took a break for a long time. You know, drums really wasn't an interest. I mean, in 23, when Hayden hit me up, asked with Bennett's blessing, because Bennett's both of our cousins. It was cool with him, you know. I played with these guys and been playing with them ever since.
Hell yeah.
But growing up, me and Hayden would write together. We would always play music together. You know, he was the only person besides our parents and a few other family members that would always get together and play music from time to time. So
That's cool. That's actually really cool. Not only what did it have something to do with your immediate family, but it was like family meetups. Ended up being an event of music composition. That's actually something not envy, but it's like, wow, I really hope to accumulate that sense of community one day. And just like, yo, we're doing the family cookout. And then the set afterwards, it's like, what, there's a set? And imagine like bringing your brand new girlfriend over or something to introduce to the family, and they're just doing a jazz set at the end of the fucking Southern cookout. You know, how sick would that be? It's like, oh my God, are they in a band? No, they're just family. It's like, oh, okay. That's cool.
How it was besides the girlfriend part. Big meat fest.
I'm gonna use it back.
He's like, on that note, no, I gotta go potty.
Awesome. Well, I mean, Rush then is in both you and Hayden's DNA, possibly in your musical composition contributions. That's a loaded fucking statement. To From Misery to Malice. Am I the only one? I might be hearing this incorrectly. Are you originally from Louisiana, Dylan?
I was born in Seattle because my dad was in the military stationed in Washington.
I didn't know that either.
But
I fucking heard it, dude.
I've been over here since I was a baby. I was just born elsewhere.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't really count. But I'm like, you don't sound like you're from Louisiana.
I don't?
No. I don't know what it was. Like, you had a more like fucking, I would dare even say like Chicago or like even Los Angeles tone in your voice. Like, you had a lot more oomph. I don't know what it is,
I've
but
been over here since I was a baby.
okay, interesting. Very interesting.
I have
Well,
no recollection of memories elsewhere
Right.
besides Louisiana.
let alone dialect or accent. Okay, cool. Now, of course, this is one of the most basic questions I think I can ask a musician designated to a certain instrument. I happened to not have asked the other guys this, but do you have any drummers that you pinpoint for your skill and like your milestones as far as gaining advantage and gaining momentum in your drumming skills? Basically meaning, do you have any favorite drummers?
Well, top three right now. Neil Peart, Rush, that's always going to be number one in my heart. He's the reason why I got so big into music like I am now. I don't have near the skill he has, but just listening to him, that's what really gave me that drive, you know. Matt Gartzka, Animals Leaders, that's a huge one. And another favorite I have is Jason Westmoreland.
Okay.
From Burn the Masses.
Ooh, okay. I haven't listened to Burn the Masses that much.
Other bands, so yeah, that's my three top right now.
Hell yeah, awesome. Well, in that case, without the here he comes back. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, right in time. Alrighty, so I do believe, fulfilled the lore for now that is necessary to fulfill a good majority of the people segment of this Crosscast. I got basically two other questions for the people segment, and then we will move into the more deep personalized questionnaire in the anatomy segment. So, first question, and this is for everyone to answer. This is for those who listen to the Crosscast across the seas, not here in the United States. This is for our listeners in Russia, Indonesia, all other parts of the world that aren't on American soil, right? So, what is something that you believe they should know about Louisiana if they ever wanted to come to the United States to visit Louisiana specifically? What is something they can look forward to?
Not everybody's like small people.
No. It's like a fifth of the population.
That's a very small percentage.
Yeah. We're not all rednecks or anything like that.
Oh my God, they don't. All these goddamn mosquitoes, and I'm out here my short That's like, yeah.
Makes me want to watch Persistent the Frog after this Crosscast.
I can say that it's a different kind of person over here. I've been to like other states and stuff, and whenever I do go, I do miss home a little bit because like Louisiana is just one of those states where like everybody's, well, I don't say everybody, but majority of the people are very nice to each other.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah, Southern
what-
hospitality.
Southern hospitality, baby.
You can just talk with a random stranger in the gas station while you're waiting to, buy whatever, and just randomly have a conversation, and it'd be nice and friendly. And then you go your separate ways, and
Possibly
and
never run into that person again, despite the conversation.
well,
It
I mean,
happens,
yeah, but I mean, it's a very it's a different kind of person compared to the rest of the world. So
Yeah.
I'd like to add on to that though.
What you got?
I find that Louisiana has a lot of coming together, like moments as a community. We have a lot of like natural disasters that require you to work together
Yeah.
to make it through, and then whenever that settles, you still have a lot of people that have endured that struggle. So a lot of people connect through struggle, and we have a lot of poverty in Louisiana. So as like offsandish as it sounds, where it's like, oh, everyone's poor and you're going through a bunch of shit all the time. It's like, yeah, but like everyone's growing so much character here.
Because everyone's poor, everyone's broke together.
Yeah, so a lot of people tend to try to understand one another.
I'm not poor, by the way.
I separate myself from the crowd, he says.
They just have a lot of poverty around in Louisiana. But
I mean, we're not living under bridges, but we're poor, we're broke because we're handling our shit. That's what it is.
Yeah, we make do out here everywhere.
Yeah.
They've just making do in Louisiana.
Oh yeah. And what would you say is despite what you've already provided, maybe separate from that context, what do you think is a less than appetizing thing about anything in Louisiana? It doesn't even have to be the people; it could be the environment.
Less appetizing. It's fucking hot in the summer.
Yeah, it's
Humidity.
hot, mosquitoes,
The
insurance
humidity,
prices.
Insurance.
Insurance is fucking butt fuck stupid out here, dude.
Yeah.
You pay more for your car insurance than you for your car.
Yeah.
We'd be here for another 2 hours.
I see.
Yeah. You think with how much you pay for insurance, the fucking potholes would be fixed, but no.
No, unfortunately not. I don't actually know how all that works, but I have a brief grasp of how it works, and it's like in states like Louisiana where you are so much more vulnerable to hurricane weather, twisters, let alone a terrible combination of the two that just has waters hitting you like concrete, spinning through the winds hundreds of miles per hour sometimes. I can only imagine that certain companies, certain insurance brokers use that as an excuse to just absolutely chunk out of your monthly earnings. And it's like, well, eventually your car might fly away, so we want more of your money. It's like, motherfucker, I know I know my car might fly away at some point. Doesn't mean you need to charge me 3 times what you would charge somebody in Arizona. And that's depending on the make and model of the fucking car too, dude. Like, I remember specifically with my vehicle when I was in Tennessee for the short time that I was, and I acquired my most recent vehicle before its repossession, they skyrocketed the monthly insurance because of these kids up in Canada who were just GTA 5 style, just randomly taking sedans. And because they didn't have, I forgot what it's called. It's like a big old handlebar that offers extra security or something. They were skyrocketing insurance claims and stuff and insurance policies because of these kids that were, more than 5 U.S. state territories north of where you were. And I remember that. I remember $757 per month for my 2019 Hyundai Elantra because of that shit. I'm like, fuck that. Like, I'm not working any job that actually requires insurance, and anybody who feeds into the narrative that, like, oh, you have to have full coverage insurance or they'll take your car. It's like, are you a bot or something? That were you sent by the government? 'Cause no matter who the IRS says, I'm not paying taxes. Like, that shit, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a bunch of details that play into it, but the thing is, there are definitely scams even on a corporate level with that shit. So it's just like, it's so daunting half the time. But if you're wanting to become a DoorDash driver, absolutely you'll need full coverage, because if you get bopped by an oncoming vehicle randomly while you're preparing to deliver Pizza Hut because company designated delivery drivers have become obsolete out here in Arizona, yeah, you need full coverage. So then go through a company like Otto that only charges you $35 a month for full coverage. Like, I don't know. But with that being said, second question, and the question to conclude the people part of this Crosscast. What do the members of From Misery to Malice do outside of musical creation for fun and to connect better? I haven't asked that question in ages, it feels.
Drink and go to buffets.
Yeah.
That's a pretty, bonfires.
As a band or each of us?
Oh.
No, like all of you guys as a band.
Oh. Sometimes we play pool.
Yeah.
We'll go shoot some pool and
That's why I
have
was
some
like,
beers.
drink or buffets.
Yeah. We, like you said earlier, we all have kids too, so kids' birthday parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Misery to Malice family get-togethers with at least 5 people worth of families and different people wanting to get involved. Birthday parties must be freaking awesome.
The funny thing is because we play at a lot of all ages venues, and I realized he giggled.
He said a lot. There's only one all ages.
Yeah, there's only one. Well, the pit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so there's two. There's two. I'm sorry. So there's 2 all ages venues we play at, and a lot of the time, some of our fans will bring their kids, and we always get asked, like, "Do y'all have y'all shirts in kids sizes?"
No, we don't.
So and then obviously, like, all of us have kids, and a lot of our family members have kids around the same age. So, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Well, there's like, I don't know.
That's the squirrel brain.
All of
That's
us,
the squirrel brain.
all of us
We're a
have.
kid-friendly band.
Yeah, we do a lot of shit. Like,
Yeah, a kid-friendly
Yeah.
deathcore band.
yeah, a kid-friendly deathcore band, and we're gonna be doing kid merch.
Stop.
Well, I mean, technically, you could be a kid-friendly deathcore band if there's no explicit language in your music. You know what I mean? Like, technically, you could be.
Yeah, I curse in like 2 songs.
I mean, you can't tell.
He says freak. And you're like, oh, damn. Awesome. Okay. Well, in that case, you guys do all ages shows, which I would argue is something that not a lot of bands would be willing to do, because the heavier you are as a
They
band.
do. Like, they
Yeah,
come in
the
and
kids,
beat each
they-
other's
They just
ass.
got their license and they're looking to lose it.
Oh boy. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I do believe then that will be a lovely conclusion to the people part, which I'm just doing. I'm chopping up the bits by hand here live on the show. That way it's easier for me to edit. But now we get into the anatomy segment. This is the first part of part 2 of the show. And really, this has all of you. This is to test your hive mindness. After all, the Anatomy Crosscast, the reason there's the word anatomy in the middle, we want to dissect this band not only as a group of 5 individuals, but see how well your minds mash together as per a testament of the music you've created, whether it be the EP or the singles you've dropped along the way. So, first question, how was the name From Misery to Malice decided, and who decided it?
It's a citizen.
Yeah, one of these doors.
Yeah,
But then also, you also
all of us
gotta
joined
mention-
after the name
Yeah.
was made. So.
Yeah.
But then you also got to mention that
Oh, you
every band has like 3 different names, and then you flipped it, and then now it's this.
Yeah.
Which it sounds better as this.
Yeah.
It does.
So whenever we first started the band, we were called Leprosarium.
Ooh.
And, we eventually changed it because we had like a whole new lineup change. And we were like, it only felt necessary to change the name of the band. And then I don't know, the name just came to me one day at work. We were all trying to figure out a name. Everybody's spitballing ideas and stuff, and some things are sounding cool and sticking, and some others just weren't. And I don't know. I thought I was going through some shit, and I came up with the name From Malice to Misery, and the guys liked it, and it got the vote, and it stuck. And then we had some more lineup changes, and that's over the time we got John. And we, instead of coming up with a completely other name, we just switched some of the words around, and it went from Misery to Malice to From Malice to Misery. Oh wait,
No.
the other way around. From Malice to From Misery to Malice.
But then it makes a lot more sense now. Because
Yeah.
If anything, the fine line of like at least the lyrics are supposed to be motivating.
Right.
So,
But yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, I put the name together, and it got the vote, so we stuck with it.
Hell yeah. And I love that you guys are one of many bands in this newer generation that happen to commission Black Upheaval. I recognize his work anywhere that I usually see it. He's really good at what he does, and truly, after that of Kalen Stokerman's, which was like the beginning episodes of the show, interviewing To The Grave, Greg Gilbert, fucking David from Signs of the Swarm, Distant, fucking Agung from Makhluk, one of Indonesia's, I would argue, best metal bands, even though he's a solo act for now and he just got married, so I'm pretty sure Makhluk's going to be on the back burner. Continuing from that pattern of starting out with some pretty big personalities, and in the graphic art design medium of this industry with Kalen Stokerman's Black Upheaval and his design work, it's very iconic. You can see it anywhere, you can distinguish it anywhere. I feel bands like I Am Nook, or even Living Hollow, From Misery to Malice. There's a version, ironically, of Distance logo done by him. This guy has done a lot of stuff, so I love to see his design work get around even more. Now, over time, maybe perhaps after the first EP is dropped, you guys have a decent catalog going on, and I'm sure a full length is next in you guys' roadmap. What would you say From Misery to Malice means in the context of your discography?
John.
no, that's a me.
John.
So basically,
Sorry, Marshall.
oh yeah, Marshall.
Marshall.
Marshall. We're out. I don't know. Basically, being at like your lowest form, and if you look even lower, something, not to be cheesy, find something that'll push you out of that and show you this animal.
Yeah.
This like unchained entity, I guess.
Right. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
From an outsider perspective, even though me and you, Marshall, have been at least internet friends for a long time, when you mentioned the name and I really thought about it, I was like, okay, From Misery to Malice. Maybe it is the event of someone who was formerly a victim and they formerly felt helpless, so they were miserable. Maybe they felt complacent. Something snapped and they went from being helpless to, at the very least, helping themselves and getting them out of a shitty situation. For me, it would be the situation I was in, the living situation I was in from September of 2024 to that of June 2025. Now, without speaking too much on it, because I have mentioned it a good amount of times since then, justifiably so, I was in a living situation with someone who convinced me and convinced basically my whole immediate family to disperse and assimilate. And we moved into a house with her. We let her take reign. We let her take command. But the moment that I realized I was being financially extorted out of thousands of dollars, whether through monthly living expenses or her essentially convincing me to obligate myself to helping her pay off a car that she also more or less stole from my mother because my mother didn't have the money to pay for it. She basically undermined a lot of what we were building up in 2023 and 24 alike. So in that moment of me feeling obligated, I surrendered my soul for a long time. I truly turned my instincts off because no matter what, I understood, especially after getting my car repossessed and losing my job a week sharp prior to that, that I would be miserable for a long time. But the moment that the people I'm living with now kind of helped me snap out of that, that was kind of my From Misery to Malice moment, because I went from submitting myself, surrendering myself to financial extortion, to noticing through receipt that everything was happening, setting my foot in the ground, and then she threatened to cut me off from water, electricity, and then took her internet modem and completely cut me off from the internet, attempting to isolate me. That was my moment of, oh, no. I'm not planning to be solely miserable anymore. And instead, I didn't act out in malice, so that part is missing from the puzzle. But what I did instead was I reflected in frustration and malice instead, being like, fuck this person for financially extorting me for multiple months, having me cover the entirety of rent when she just refused to get a job because she happened to be pregnant. And she only got a job after I got my car repossessed. Basically, during that period, I would say that's my most applicable personal scenario to that band name. And therefore, maybe because of the loose term of concept, unless Marshall is to correct me not too long from now, maybe I will be able to relate to you guys' debut EP a little bit more and kind of relate that to my own personal experience. Who knows? We'll have to see in due time. But I definitely always loved the name From Misery to Malice. The logo did it really good justice. And despite the coffin emblem that you guys have, I like the knife thing going on too. I haven't seen that before, but it's cool.
Somebody does.
Oh, sick. Okay.
I love the knife.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh.
Hell yeah. So in that case, second question, or second depersonalized question for From Misery to Malice as an entity would be, what separates From Misery to Malice from other bands in the deathcore community?
What a mercy.
The bass player is pretty good.
yeah, we got a really good bass player.
Most of the members are hotties.
I can agree.
We're very diverse.
You don't really see a redheaded drummer.
He's also left-handed.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know.
I feel like we don't have, so anytime, that we've gotten any kind of feedback from, just like a random showgoer or, somebody who saw us, they told us that we didn't sound like everybody else, or we kind of had different elements and layers of different genres kind of tastefully sprinkled throughout the song or throughout the set, while still having that deathcore vibe and overall sound, but still kind of having little elements of other things sprinkled throughout.
Yeah, I feel like us three write almost completely different styles.
We write completely different styles.
Yeah, so
like Matt can write anything. He can write anything. Whatever you think he can do it. I have more of like an old school death metal kind of. Yeah, well, I've mainly been getting more slam, but old school death metal slam, and then Hayden, he's a show off. He likes to do technical stuff. So it's still great. It's beautiful.
It's almost weird putting it all together, but it goes together so well.
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of almost, I think, stands out.
I think that's what makes it unique, is that you have three different people with three different writing styles. And I mean, not everything goes with each other all the time, but the things that do go well with each other, I mean, it fits, it jams, and it can make you bob your head, and that's that speaks volumes.
Right.
Down to that where it's like, due to us all three having different writing styles, or maybe just the fact that like I can write anything, it helps us all kind of push out song by song to be different. But it sounds the same because we still tackle all the elements of how we write, no matter what. So if one song sounds like it's a little too slammy, we're like, but we all like slam. And maybe a minute of the song touches on a different genre.
Right.
So the subgenres almost, it's like we mix subgenres slightly to where it's either in one song or it's in multiple songs. But it'll be.
We got lucky because it's a good combination that usually people have to sit there and look years for, and then we all just kind of accidentally hey, all of us have three different writing styles, and it works.
I know that this might sound, I mean, he's my cousin, so I don't want to, but it's like I feel like a lot of drummers too almost feel like they almost are just like robots, like they're just playing this blast beat, this rhythm. Yeah, I feel like he brings a lot of feeling into the drums, and that helps liven shit up. It's
okay.
it brings a lot of life to what we're doing, and it really complements. But yeah, I think that I don't know, man. It's like everybody does their part very well.
Yeah.
And I think it really shows.
And being that we have different writing styles, I mean, that kind of plays on people's strengths and weaknesses. So where one guy is weak on this side, like technicality, like I'm not a super technical guitar player. That's where Hayden can come up with some tasty shit,
Okay.
He knows how I write or what I would write, so he can kind of incorporate his technicality with like some slam or some old school death metal stuff that I may come up with. And then Matt can take either one of our riffs and he can, do his thing and make it sound magical.
Slightly humble, where it's like I can kind of revert back to like what I listened to 10 years ago that I thought was more like, oh, it's not about pressing all the notes like crazy,
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, I can kind of go on Citizen's level or like Hayden's level, because like I have the knowledge, but the fun, I guess, is more so going back to knowledge and going back and just expressing that to what they like.
Hell yeah. That's cool. So in that case, then, I would continue upon that same question with a little twist, right? So in the future, and this is speaking to From Misery to Malice as one entity, right? So this could play into a for fans of or DNA bands question, but not really. What do you all plan to continue to do to innovate and further distinguish From Misery to Malice from other deathcore bands in the scene? Like, what do you hope to do in future writing to further innovate?
I was just, real quick,
Do the same thing that we've been doing.
I was gonna say, not like stay in a box.
Yeah.
Just kind of, we're gonna do what we
And whenever
think
I say
sounds awesome.
Yeah, whenever I say do what we've been doing, it's like just keep writing and stick to the formula. I mean, we bounce ideas off of each other, and I mean, it's difficult to put into words, but we write what feels right, and if it sticks to us, well, then we're definitely going to use it.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason to how we do it. Sometimes it's a little unorthodox. Sometimes, we'll write a song and we'll just leave it alone for a couple months, or somebody will have half a song written, and something won't, it'll stay in the back of the mind, but we won't really do anything with it. And then we'll circle back to it a couple months later and we'll finish it, and it's a fucking banger,
Hell yeah.
So I don't know. It has to be like an organic thing, not rushing it. I feel like if you rush stuff, that's where, you start to sound, I guess, cookie cutter or
Patience comes in.
Yeah. So it's like not rushing it. If it don't feel right, leave it alone. Come back to it, and it's kind of what we've been doing. Since we kind of started the band.
With this lineup for sure.
Yeah.
We're also in a weird spot where like we are looking forward to making an album, even if if it's one single at a time, who knows? But we made the piece like the EP, and I feel like, oh, how do you do more than this? It's more about like, how do we slightly break away from the EP, and then how do we carry the EP onto what we do next? Because we like that sound, and everyone had their little touch on what they liked through it. So carrying, like, let's all continue like the formula, like Citizen was saying, but more so in the fashion of like, how do we do better?
What are we adding to the formula?
While carrying the formula of the EP.
Oh yeah.
It represents everybody, really.
Right. Sweet. Well, in that case, question 3 of the anatomy would be, if From Misery to Malice was the child of either 2 or 3 different bands. I know it sounds strange, but work with me. If From Misery to Malice was the child of 2 or 3 bands, who would those bands be? And maybe let's go as far as like, who would be the father, who would be the mother, or some stupid shit like that.
That's a very difficult question.
I'm pretty sure Rush would be at least one of the parents, right?
They would at least be a witness.
It's a distant cousin.
Distant cousin.
Yeah.
But as far as
as far as having like a sound that if you put us side by side, I really couldn't give you the name of another band that would remotely sound like us. I mean,
We're trying to have our own signature. In a
yeah,
certain sense.
I mean,
like we have a lot of influences.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
influence wise, I mean, I feel like we'd all like Whitechapel.
I was gonna say Whitechapel.
Yeah, I mean, Whitechapel influenced a lot of people. So I guess that would be the daddy. And as far as the mama,
The mama, would it be Chelsea Grant?
I get, yeah,
Yeah,
sure. And I mean, we have a little bit of Blacken in there, so
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
I mean, we can say we can kind of Lorna Shore does influence a little bit as far as
Yeah.
I love Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Yeah.
Right now the biggest influence for my writing is Nether Walker.
Yeah.
Throw that out there again.
Hell yeah.
Kind of enjoy where Marshall's background is in Spire of Lazarus.
Oh, Marshall. I keep forgetting.
Well, I kind of jumped on like into the band like while the EP was almost done,
Yeah.
and that's when I kind of like met him, and then I heard his background, and I was kind of like, okay, like I did the Blacken kind of shit, like I do this kind of like random breakdowns, you know. So I feel like sometimes like we have songs like our song Limbo. It was like, damn, we all like the fact that we kind of catered to the sound,
Yeah.
but it's like it fits, you know, what he likes to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he could easily jump on a track that caters to that blackened sound. So,
Did that in like Woods of Waltz.
I'd still, that's one of my favorites.
so it's like to an extent, Spire of Lazarus is like a cousin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
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 Like it wouldn't be a family like mom, dad, but like a distant cousin where it's like this is where he comes
stepmom because he
he's smashed on the load.
Yeah. Well, who's the stepdad?
Oh no.
probably him because he come from Neptune.
Yeah. And it helped a lot of writing with Citizen. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
learning a lot in Def 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck, man.
We got the cousins down.
That's what I'm saying, man. That thing looked like a twig.
Well, okay. The next depersonalized question for the anatomy segment. This is one I've been meaning to ask for a long time, and this is really where the branding of the show comes from. The name of the show comes from. Who are each of you as far as the blood, the bones, the heart, the brain, and maybe even like the muscle tissue? What parts?
Got to figure it out, dude.
Oh yeah.
Matt's the brain, Citizen is the muscle. I'm the bones, man. He's the heart, and he's the whatever's left.
Skin, whatever's left.
He's muscle, man.
Oh yeah.
You're the skin. And it really, it really feels like that because I mean, Matt comes with some great ideas. He's the pushes the life into this thing. You push us to get shit out,
And then they pushes us.
and then pushes us.
Defibrillator.
Kind of like what you said earlier, like the bones. I mean, that's the bass tone. That's the bones, right? So I feel like more than that. Like Dylan holds it all together. He's the skin,
he's the
dude.
skin.
Yeah.
He's the skin.
And he's the skin.
Exactly, yeah. God, so
It works out, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking A,
hilarious. It's your skin.
Website.
Yeah, no, I mean, he pretty much hit it nail on the head, so.
Fuck yeah. Now we got a train in the background. Love it.
Yeah, let me close that.
No, you're good. I like to hear the train. We got a train that comes through town here.
Like neural systems, like basically your body, and it's basically like you can like reset it and like learn like who you are in like a new perspective. But your body is attuned to how things work.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely.
So I also think that like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm the neural system.
Yeah, that's
but,
exactly what you're getting at.
but I feel like Me Come to the Band offers like a new direction. Like how do you want to carry yourself? Like how do you guys? Just a lot of questions. Like questions are answers when it comes to like knowing yourself. Like From Misery to Malice, how do y'all want to look in 4 months, 5 months? You know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like where I like to play my part to the band, like your neurological system almost.
Hell yeah.
To help you talk to yourself as a band, basically.
You guys want some tones?
No, we don't want tones.
And a follow-up question to that. This is a brand new one, but I think it garners for some pretty interesting conversation. Is From Misery to Malice as a singular sentience, as a single body, is it in good health right now? Does it have some fractured bones, some bruises, anything like that?
The bones are all right. The skin's good.
We're like prepping to hit the gym, basically.
Yeah.
You know, like we're like stretching.
Yeah.
We're ready. Like we're ready.
We're doing great.
Like shows have been.
We've been playing a lot of live shows, getting a very good local presence. While all doing that, like still writing and getting ready for the next step. So like we never really stop. There's always something going on, whether it's booking a show or playing a show one week. And then focusing on a song or him recording,
like
Marshall
merch and stuff, getting art out.
Ordering merch, finding new artwork. Like there's always something going on, so it's a very healthy and well coordinated system. And everybody's kind of got their thing. But yeah, it's we're in great shape right now.
Well,
fantastic.
It's like we're receiving the benefits of our last big push.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is nice. How about our next big push? And we're right there where we're ready for our next big push.
Hell yeah.
In the middle of our last big push.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Alrighty. Well, I think that will conclude then the anatomy segment of this Crosscast, which it feels really good to be able to return to that questionnaire. I was asking myself the other day, ironically, whilst I was speaking with Marshall, I'm like, wait a minute. This is the anatomy Crosscast. How is it different than other band interview podcasts? Because eventually we have, or attempt, to have the band members depersonalize and ask them a question as if they're one living thing. Like, that's what a band should be as an entity, as a unit, as a business, as a brand, what have you. So it's nice to remember to ask that question once more. Now, Mr. Marshall, are you still in the room, though?
He's smoking a cigarette right now.
Smoking a cigarette. No worries. So, okay. He's just like, hey, I'm still here.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. So, next part will be, I think, Under the Skin for a Turnham Vale, you guys' latest EP. Marshall, are you the primary lyricist for this EP?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, without your bodice present within frame, I think this could actually make for a pretty funny Under the Skin session. So while you're smoking, of course, let's go ahead and go under the skin of A Turnham Vale briefly. This is a 6-track EP. This is the first lengthy release that you guys have dropped. I cannot wait to listen to it whenever I have the time to do so. What would you say, Mr. Marchand, is the overarching theme of A Turnham Vale?
It's basically, so the artwork is a grave, an unmarked grave.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a stairwell going into the grave. I don't know, I guess basically the over... I mean, I guess the overall theme would just be, I mean, the simple thing, that's why like the knives have 3 holes in them: life, death, and rebirth.
Oh, you know what? I would have never known about that. Thank you for explaining the lore of your new knife emblem.
I didn't even know about it.
Well, and then the key is to unlock the basement. It's a story.
Whoa. Thing. Yeah. That's why we're trying to talk about it, dog.
So yeah, and that will be more in depth on the album that we're working on. What?
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry. I gotta go to work at midnight tonight, so I'm gonna have to skedaddle a bit.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Grown man says skedaddle.
I say skedaddle a little bit.
I say skadoodle all the time.
Skedaddle, sadoodle. Your dick is now a noodle. No, we got you, Dylan. Thank you.
So, did you have anything else for me before I left you present?
No. You should be good to go, my guy. Thank you for asking.
As long as just I gotta be up in a few hours.
No, you're good. I completely understand, man.
Unacceptable.
I completely forgot.
No,
He said he forgot.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
I need one of your key cards.
You can take John's. Yep.
Anyway, sorry. But yeah, no, that's kind of the overall theme that's going to go into the album. And yeah, the key unlocks the cellar door, and then the knife is actually going to be a part of like a detailed suicide.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then that's it. I guess I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it at the moment because it's all kind of just like a little.
Well, it's nice you put a lot into it. Like the imagery means something.
Oh yeah, like it's not just like
Yeah,
a random thing. It's like there's just like in the knife is this. It's a story about this guy. Long story short, is something I was writing a long time ago because I got into short horror stories, and I wanted to write a short horror story a long time ago, and basically, this guy is lost in the woods, ends up stumbling. He's having like all these visions, mirages, or whatever. He ends up finding what he believes to be his house, and it's all decrepit and falling apart because he hasn't been taking care of it anymore. It's been driving him further, deeper into like lunacy and the type of madness to where he goes into the basement and unlocks it with the key. Goes down in there, says his final words and everything, cuts his wrist, and as he bleeds out, it's like something wakes up, and it's this, I don't know how to describe it, this like otherworldly entity with like shards of glass for teeth and everything. It's
Ooh.
monstrous force.
Okay.
I felt it as to be a lot cooler than just like, yeah, I'm a big monster trampling on the city. I'm Godzilla, So,
Right.
So
No, I
was
appreciate
like,
that.
put a little more like depth into it, because I mean, all of us have brains.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's kind
And-
of spiritual though too, like an entity to pop up,
Mhm.
like that coming to death moment, and there's something almost stopping you, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's basically
Interesting.
what it is, and I mean that's kind of why, like, even in our bio, like on the band page, just dig through the bottom to find a way out,
Yeah.
because he puts his own grave in the basement. So it's there's a story behind it.
There's definitely a story behind it, Mr. Marshall, and I definitely need to bring y'all back for the full length if this EP is meant to be only a preview, even narratively speaking, let alone a preview of you guys' potential in writing an extended release. I cannot wait to bring you guys back then and possibly do an early album listening session. Have that ready to go for day one of this album's public domain, and do, I would say, one of the final incarnations of the process of being on the Crosscast, or at least my intentions for doing so. So this is a preview. Aeternum Veil is a sample for a bigger narrative about a dude who eventually is compelled to use a key, unlock a basement. For whatever reason, the key is also attached to a knife. He uses the knife specifically to commit, and then that conjures an entity of glass teeth. That's a lot to go off of. I like it. The glass teeth part too is like, I can only imagine how terrible the sound would be of this entity grinding its teeth to even just to aggravate you. Grinding glass. That sounds terrible already. So
Well, and I read a lot of stories by Elias Withrow,
okay.
so it kind of helps me. Instead of just being like, I'm a big monster, Godzilla. You missed the whole Godzilla part.
Okay.
But yeah, it kind of just helps me connect with that a little bit and then work through certain little things, and yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, in that case, for any and all context of the Sampler EP, I would love to do a brief walkthrough of the track listing, track by track. No need to rush it, despite my wording of it being a quick summary. Because our last Under the Skin session was a little bit more painful to get through because this guy was writing a whole book for it, but he kind of forgot most of the lore for his story, so he was like going back and forth and like, this is going to be terrible for editing, and I ended up giving up on it over time because he didn't really seem too confident in the narrative that he was planning to compress into a book that they had already then turned into their first full-length album. So keeping that in mind, track 1, Circle of Death. How do we start From Misery to Malice's first E EP?
Okay, so y'all came up with the name.
Song wise, it was like I had offered it to the band to be like, I think this is really cool. I made this. You guys like it? And everyone was like, damn, it's really like, it's like our sound to an extent.
It's a great intro song.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We really wanted more songs to play live. And then that song was just so good. We're like, hey, slap it on the EP.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's whenever we handed over to Sir Marshall, because it's like, well, what kind of like words would you choose for that song? Where was your headspace on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it. How do I put it? It seems almost as if it's
Song.
it's been a long day for all of us. All of us been like busy and stuff.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
Wasn't it like detached from like your storyline in the EP?
In a certain sense, if anything, is like Eternum Vale is basically like a little, almost like a prequel spin-off type.
Okay.
Or was the pilot?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
sort
pretty
of,
much the pilot,
pretty
and
much, yeah.
The actual beefiness of it was the other songs that come after. So it's sort of
Okay.
an intro to.
And it's basically just about like the stillness in a certain way that like you feel whenever you're at your lowest.
Oh, I see.
In a
Okay.
sense, where it's just,
Okay.
I mean, one of the opening lines is a violent stillness consumes. So it's just, like you almost feel paralyzed. And then it also bleeds into it's
Jump to the next song.
yeah.
Strangers.
Yeah, because if anything, Strangers was actually the entity that's in the album. Yeah. So it. Yeah. It's like my brain shut off.
Yeah,
as
so
soon as-
we can't really offer any feedback because he writes all the stuff. So as far as like,
Yeah, we kind of let him just write it.
yeah,
What
so
he
this
wants.
is majority. This is a John thing.
Yeah, we can't help you, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So he's just
Sorry.
like, the song
with the
is-
stuff.
has words.
So-
and
If I may interject, from my understanding so far, Circle of Death could easily have been named From Misery to Malice, as it provides a little bit more premise and context to the band name that started this whole thing. But Circle of Death specifically alludes to you being at your lowest and wanting to find a means to escape that rock bottom, right? But maybe in a more negative context, but sometimes in those situations, it's better to respond with more agitation or happiness instead of just staying there and not changing anything for yourself. So then Circle of Death, it could easily speak upon this band's early on obstacles of just getting this EP out in the first place. I know that's some of the context for what will be my first EP and album. Like the first album will be called Dead Years, because it speaks upon all of the years before that I tried to do these chicken scratch logo deathcore projects that could have catered better to MySpace revival, and just the relief on that premiere day of finally getting all that music released, as well as killing off a version of myself that was so willing to appease everyone and anyone who might have given me the time of day, the attention, the validation. Like, Dead Years will also speak about just killing off that old version of myself. And there will be a depiction, 2 separate takes, where I have a wand or staff or some shit and I look more like a reaper. But then I have this older, former version of myself that looks more like a skinwalker, and I'm just going to snap its neck or something. And that's going to be basically the end of the album. The final song, the title track's music video will just be me snapping this older version of myself, its neck, and just erasing that timeline completely. but keeping the pocket dimension that it is contained in open because, well, it's a pocket dimension, but it is also in real life one of my safe spaces. So it's like I can protect myself in here, and I can learn, I can stew upon all I need to do. Like there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that plays into it, which should be really like the most satisfying thing I've ever created early on, but like that will truly just be the beginning. So then in reference to Aeternum Veil, we start with what could be a title track. We get into Strangers, and this is right after our character has decided to utilize that knife, use it for the niche purpose of committing suicide. He's at his rock bottom, and this is From Misery to Malice as he attempts to end his own life. Strangers is the, whoa, did that bring you here? Like, what is this thing? It's truly a stranger. These are truly strangers to your understanding. So now we can introduce to this creature, he has glass teeth. You're seeing him in a basement. There wasn't even a pentagram, right? Or something like that. There wasn't even a pentagram to summon him, yet he appeared because of your pain, almost as a cruel punishment, trying to convince you not to depart the earth and, at least put pressure on your wrists. Like, that's kind of the narrative I'm developing right now, or the headcanon I'm depicting right now.
It's a lot cooler than what I could have thought of.
I mean, yeah, it somewhat is. And then, like I said, if anything, it's like a prequel type thing. So the album will be a lot more like in depth, as well as like the imagery.
Hell yeah. Well, let's go ahead then and skim over to Chapter 3, Terraform. What's different about this song lyrically compared to Strangers and Circle of Death?
About hating my skin.
Yeah.
Basically, just about somebody that does not like their skin. Originally, it was called Terraformed in Skin. Yeah.
Okay. Very nihilistic, and it does play into that circle of death and that scenario that this character is in as the pilot. Like, this whole EP, as far as I'm concerned, is a collective pilot. And then Terraform is like, well, why did you decide to use that knife, despite also using the key attached to it? The origins of acquiring the knife we have yet to know. Hopefully we'll be able to figure that out in the full-length album. But then Terraform is just like, yeah, this dude fucking hates living the existence he has lived, and he just wants it to end. We all get there sometimes. We all get to that rock bottom, and that's the psychological approach to that, perhaps.
Yep.
Cool.
I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
on the blank, dude.
It's like I said, it's been a long day.
No worries.
But yeah, pretty much that's the basis of it, is more or less just not waking up and being excited to see your own body.
True. Yeah, and that could also allude to body dysmorphia, as far as I'm concerned. Like, not a lot of people will ever be content with their physical form, and they see other people not as gods, but as better versions of themselves, superior versions, superior humans, superior people to them, and therefore they attest to want to just be that other person sometimes, and maybe even depersonalize. Like, maybe we go that far. And that's, I think, really where a lot of people's body dysmorphia comes from, is that sense of competition. Track 4, Skin of Glass. I can only imagine this continues to play upon our character's pilot observations of not exactly the antagonist, just an additional cast member, an additional character. What does Skin of Glass talk about?
Well, it's actually a little bit different from the storyline, but it's basically talking about someone that is so sensitive to the point where, like, let's say like drug addiction or whatever. It's like you really let that, out of all the things that could overtake your life, that's what you let. Yeah. And I don't know. That's also another one that I wrote. A lot of these songs I wrote a long time ago, and it's funny. I'm gonna just call him Little Drummer Boy because that's all he is. Not our drummer.
Oh, yeah.
No, not our drummer. No, it's this dude that I was in an internet project with a long time ago that never saw the light of day because no one likes him. But he always said, "Yeah, you never go in the vault. Never go look at your old lyrics and your old songs and release those."
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's dude, you're stupid. You're living in your girlfriend's basement, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. But yeah. But anyway, so it's like I said, if anything, it's about other people being so sensitive and subjective in their own sense of self, where something that is just that delicate, where their skin is like glass, anything hurts them, anything sways their decision, anything.
Something almost trauma related.
In a sense,
Yeah.
that's another thing. A lot of the lyrics are like based off of, I guess you could say, past events, kinda, or they're inspired by past events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then the last two songs were, Wilted and Limbo, which were our two previous singles before. So, I mean, we had a new way of mixing and mastering and everything. We're like, you know what, let's give those,
New life.
yeah, new life, a little glow up. Yeah. And then Limbo's another one that I wrote Limbo on the spot a long time ago in like 2017, 2018, when I was hanging out with my buddy Matthias from Angry Reacts Only.
I see.
And we're just sitting in his he had this like big garage studio setup thing that his whole family would use. And we're just sitting in there just talking and bullshitting, and we wrote a song like on the spot right then and there. But it's kind of goes along the lines of how I was feeling at the time. I mean, it was in North Dakota, it was cold as shit. Everything felt like to be like a dead end. I don't know. Felt like I was just trapped in limbo, in a sense. So that's kind of just what I wrote. What I wrote as if, like, the point of view of being just trapped in limbo or purgatory or anything like that.
I see. Alrighty. Well, as far as any and all lyrical context for the songs on Aeternum Veil, I do believe that will conclude the track by track lyrical dissection. One thing I would love to talk about, if briefly, is the EP cover. Who was the artist, and what were some of the conversations that occurred during the process of getting this EP cover created?
Well, Mr.
He made it himself.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I did it myself. It's just a shit ton of pictures on a double exposure app to give it this like cartoonish look. But basically, it's a unmarked grave that hasn't been filled in yet, and there's a staircase going down into it, and
Spooky vibes with the
spooky
vibes.
trees and in the middle of nowhere, you know?
I gotta skate.
You gotta skate.
Sorry, brother. I
No,
gotta
you're
get
good.
out of here.
You're good. Yeah, that was a good one. I heard that shit.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what's up?
The fucking the DAP or whatever. That was a solid one.
Hey, brother. All right,
That was-
all right, man. You guys have fun.
All right, later.
Take care, citizen. Cool. So that, and who's the oh right, you guys said that you guys were the artists. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. Pretty DIY that way. How and why how and why did Aeternum Veil become an EP instead of an album?
Not a lot of material.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe
Honestly,
material.
we were at a point where we were writing a bunch, and that's what we had at the moment.
Okay.
And then also Eternum Valley is like Latin for farewell forever.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what? It's basically like, because I'm not gonna say our new material sounds totally different, but it's evolved. And so if anything, it's, you know, kind of in a sense laying that era of From Misery to Malice to rest and moving on to a more evolved version.
Okay. Sweet. Well, in that case, that will be the complete conclusion to the Under the Skin segment. Now it's Slingshot. This is the final part of the Anatomy Crosscast. We managed to stretch enough that 2 members had to depart, so this will be a rather brief one. We at least have 3 out of 5 now, and Slingshot is really a segment that I thought was really... Slingshot is a segment that's meant for both constructive criticism as well as networking and near future possibilities. So, Slingshot Part 1, essentially. What did you guys think of your experience with John Marshall returning to the Anatomy Crosscast? Hayden, Matt, what did you guys think of this Crosscast? What do you think of your experience?
I learned a lot. I didn't even realize some of the stuff that was, in here, lore-wise. That was pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Matt?
I say, well, I think I got a few things. I'm trying to gather like one by one,
Fair enough.
But, like hearing about the imagery, a lot of the times we kind of just leave it up to him to like make lyrics and to just express yourself creatively, like come up with what you like to come up with. Hopefully we all agree, and if we don't agree, it's like, we think you're creative enough to just continue on with what you agree with. So like hearing imagery and shit like that also helps us respect him as like a person, to hear his side of what he's putting into the creative process.
Right.
It's not like we're buying a piece of art and it speaks nothing to us except for the fact it looks cool,
Right.
That's not what's going on at all. And then I think another part is, it's really cool how the anatomy part where it's like, who's the brain? Who's this? Who's that?
Cool, yeah.
Because I've talked to a few of them. It's just like when I joined, I wanted to know how things worked because I'm new. And I have to piece together like, who's the brain? Who's the heart? And a lot of the time, people kind of want to work in each other's area. Like the heart, let's say. Maybe the heart wants to work with the brain. Those two things need to kind of connect. I think a lot of us like to connect, and coming together as 5, you would hope we all understand each other because of the smaller connections first. So there's a lot of pieces when it comes to like who writes what, who writes when, almost.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us are still learning whose part, like which part of the body is like who's to kind of be better at.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay if one person's heart is like, of the body, is putting in more work, because it's like, well, at least you're the heart. Like, we have that guy who's good at being the heart in the band.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a lot of parts of that anatomy, and we're still figuring out which connections are strongest. Like, what would you like to maybe switch the body part? We kind of believe in each other and trying to let that body work how it wants to work.
Hell yeah. And that's always important if you want to keep the machine running, if you want to keep this entity that is Fintum running. You got to be able to work together as much as possible. You really do.
Yep.
So, final question of the night, and the final question of Slingshot. Who would you recommend to the Anatomy Crosscast, and why?
As like personal preference, like who I want to know more about? Or like...
Yes. It can be that, or it can be, you know, just blatant network based, just like, yo, my homies in Galgothan. Oh wait, they were already on the show. Fuck. Maybe, you know, like that type of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I got one if you want. Let me go first.
Yeah.
It's not like necessarily local, but Psycho Frame is like really just breaking the how we see deathcore from the past and how we can see it in the future. And you know, they're going through member changes, and it's like each release that they have, it's like something new came from within. So that's a really cool band to explore from the inside that I find.
Yeah, no, I would love to get Psycho Frame on. We've been recommended so far Reverent, which is also in the MySpace revival. We just hosted an AZ local MySpace revival band called In Faith and Misery. That should be fun to listen to their album and record the concluding segments. We want to get as many of those bands as possible. We Are the End, which I didn't know was one of the OGs from the first MySpace generation, or MySpace deathcore generation. They want to get involved. So it's like the opportunities might be limitless as far as who we can get, whether from first gen or new gen MySpace deathcore, but I'm looking forward to every opportunity as it arises. So thank you for recommending Psycho Frame.
Yes. Hayden, you got one?
Netherwalker, once again.
Oh, dude.
I don't look, man. I'm so impressed with these guys, and they have a ton of lore behind their songs. It's like they have like a whole pretty much book that they write, you know, from, and they're an internet band. Well, originally got famous from like TikToks and stuff, and
which is really cool.
Yeah, they played one show so far, and it's like I don't know much about these people besides they would put TikToks, and then they blew up.
Yeah,
and then they dropped like one of the most insane albums I've heard.
They were like part of the core.
Yeah, like they were making funny,
freaking
heavy. They were like, almost like I thought it was like for fun, like making fun of deathcore at first, because they had the most ridiculous breakdowns and like their vocals were just insane, and I'm like
Hall of the
but they
Elders
didn't have
deathcore.
But they weren't putting out tracks. They were just putting out these TikToks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess they gained so much traction, they started releasing singles, and it's just, dude, the guy that voiced Chowder is on one of their songs.
Yeah, Nicky Jones.
Yeah, like, it's just, they just seem really, really cool, and I'd love to know more.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because even as early as year one, so mind you, this is now 5 years ago, we were in contact with them, and we're like, yo, we want to get you on the show as soon as possible. Like, low-key, I only knew them as first as Minecraft deathcore, and I'm like, that's not right. So they continued releasing music, and it became this more expanded D&D campaign-infused internet deathcore project. And that, I think, compares really well to other bands we've had on the show, technically, such as, and not limited to, Anguish Enslaved from Wisconsin. We've hosted Marty Leith of Dragon Corpse. That was a really fun conversation. That's another band that writes music based off of a D&D campaign that he's writing solo. And then you got bands like Distant that created full novels off of both Aeons of Oblivion and Heritage so far. I'm excited to hear what they decide to release next that is blatantly and completely original, new, and expanded, right? So that should be really fun. And specifically in regards to Netherwalker, we almost got them on, but by the time that they had announced their album and that they were preparing to get everything unleashed for that record, they said, yeah, we're just way too busy right now and don't think we'll be doing a podcast anytime in the near future just because of how busy we are. And like, God damn it. Okay. Can't exactly get mad at them if they're being phantom transparent like I tried to manifest in those I network with. But hopefully, with a recommendation and a little push, we can finally get them on the show and, get a basically D&D coded deathcore band on the show, let alone a band that released an album that was so critically acclaimed last year. Even if it wasn't by some John Scorsese level motherfuckers. Like, we don't really have John Scorsese's here in the deathcore community. We just have people who enjoy music, and that's enough. So hopefully, yes, Psycho Frame, Netherwalker, those would be fantastic additions to the lineup. Any others?
I want to say
because okay, even given the controversy that the dude had years ago and everything, and I think it's cool that like this dude basically came out of nowhere. I would say Will Ramos, but it's hard to even get in touch with Will Ramos now. But Immortal Disfigurement.
Yes. Yes.
It's really cool that CJ has been in all this different shit, lost all of it, and got it back pretty much. And it's impressive. I don't want to use what's the term people are using nowadays? It's main character energy. It's impressive. It's impressive. And whenever they drop songs, it makes me go back and sit and think and like, dude, I gotta get better. I gotta get better. I gotta drop my lows lower. I gotta do more nastier highs. It's really cool to see that like instead of like jealousy, it turns into like a motivational push. Like instead of oh damn, I want to be doing that. No, it's like okay,
That's
now
achievable.
yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
So there's a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool. I would say Immortal Disfigurement.
Absolutely, man. And I think with that in mind, you will absolutely love the next vocal cover I'm doing with Derek Connolly of Nithful for Signs of the Swarm's final phase, man. I am so excited to finally get that recorded. I'm literally just waiting on his, because he's doing Dickie Allen's part. But I encouraged him. I'm like, dude, make it as original to you as possible. Like, get those narrative gutter rolls in there. And then I told him, I was asking him, how do you think I could incorporate my Skinwalker shrieks into this final phase cover? And then I realized that if I want to be a vocalist who doesn't exactly do like 3 different vocal takes to stack upon itself and be so overproduced and so over impressive, if during the main quote line, spines removed, blah blah blah, a final phase, if I'm doing my Skinwalker shriek right next to his narrative gutter rolls, oh my god, I think that will catch people the fuck off guard. But yeah,
That's
that would,
that's
yeah,
another person I would like to eventually work with someday on some. I did one of his profile pictures.
oh that's funny, I didn't know that.
Picture of him like in the chair with a bloody sleeve. Like I did that edit for him.
That's cool, I didn't know that. Small world then, eh?
Oh yeah, and he and I talk a good bit. He's cool. He's a good dude. Everybody, there's been times people look at him and say or think certain things. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with the dude. He's a cool guy.
Sometimes he's a dick, sometimes his takes are a little bit bolder, but the thing is that's what makes him an individual, and a lot of people hate him for that, because not only is he a self-manifested edgelord sometimes, but the thing is he kind of pushes the envelope, and he's authentically just, I don't give a fuck about any of this new pigeonholed like left or right based counterculture. Like, no, that's not what counterculture is. And that's why once upon a time I planned to have him as a co-host for my show, but he just got way too busy. I still have yet to commission him for a history of Ignite the Church audio program presentation thingy for this show to kind of give our audience something different to listen to. But I look forward to starting that off actually with Tony Slam and his history of slam audio presentation, which will be like pre-recorded and all that. Should be really well produced. I cannot wait to get that out to everyone this year whenever he is done. But yeah, dude, Psycho Frame, Netherwalker, and Immortal Disfigurement, all bands that I've been reaching out to, all bands that I've been hoping to get on the show. So, as per the recommendations from members of From Misery to Malice, that's fantastic. I cannot wait to hopefully get those guys on with an additional push, with a recommendation. Sometimes that's all you need. But I do believe that that will be a lovely way at 7:33 p.m. for me, 9:33 p.m. for them over in the cooking swamps of Louisiana to conclude what will most likely be episode 125 of the Anatomy Crosscast. We're hoping to get to at least 150 by the end of the year. We'll see what happens with now an additional co-host being added to the roster, and a first impression crosscast happening soon, as well as hopefully a channel trailer crosscast where basically we'll be summarizing the email that we send out to every one of the bands, just making that more entertaining to ingest. Hopefully the Anatomy Crosscast will become more of a prominent entity in the face of counterculture and true counterculture here in 2026. But that will be the end of this Crosscast. Thank you to Dylan and Citizen for participating as long as they were able to. Thank you to Mr. Machon for returning. Thank you to Matt and Hayden. And yeah, that will be the end. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Of course.